100 million euros. A $1 million operation is being plotted behind the scenes at Valdebebas. And it could completely change Real Madrid's midfield. But what the player himself did with the contract left Manchester City fans speechless. And watch out, a Turkish gem has charmed the coach, driven the fans wild, and could start as a first-team player right in the opening round of La Liga. But will he be able to handle the pressure when the midfield monsters return? And there's more: a stalled contract, a mysterious visit to Real Madrid's training center, and exit rumors involving one of the squad's biggest stars. The atmosphere is on fire. But wait, there was still a Premier League club that got outsmarted by a player and still got praised by a Spanish newspaper for a signing that didn't even happen. And what UEFA just confirmed about Real Madrid has once again silenced the biggest haters. So stick around because this video is unmissable. If you're a fan of the greatest club in the world, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and let's smash that like goal. This is Real Madrid till the end, brother. Here's the deal, fan. The name is Rodri Hernandez, current Ballon d'Or holder and one of the best midfielders in the world. Real Madrid has had their eye on this guy for a while, and when I say a while, I mean over 18 months monitoring the Manchester City monster. But now, the situation is starting to get very interesting. According to BBC journalist Guillem Balog, there's no chance Rodri leaves City this summer. But here's the kicker: the player has already rejected renewal offers and is in no rush to sign a new contract. And you know what that means? That next summer, when he has only 1 year left on his deal, Real Madrid could go all in. And there's more. According to Cadena SER, City wants to make Rodri the second highest earner in the squad, only behind Haaland. This shows just how desperate they are to keep the guy. But the player is just watching. Now, here's the detail no one is talking about. For Real Madrid to invest heavily in Rodri, they might need to sell someone important. And guess who's on Manchester City's radar? Yes, Rodrigo goes. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences when it comes to Real Madrid. Florentino Perez doesn't like to spend recklessly, but when it comes to Rodri, the story changes. The president sees the Spaniard as the perfect replacement for the legacy of Cruz and Casemiro. And with coach Xabi Alonso pounding the table for midfield reinforcements, Rodri's name is gaining more and more traction. But seriously, fan, would you sell Rodrigo to bring Rodri? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is going to be huge. Comment down below: is it worth selling Rodrigo for Rodri? Would you accept that swap? I want to see the Madridista crowd's opinion in the comments. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, now's the time. Now hold on tight for this one. Arda Guler is flying. The prodigy, who arrived at Real Madrid as a bet for the future, is starting to show that the future might be now. According to Mundo Deportivo, the Turk is making so much noise in pre-season that he could earn a starting spot right in La Liga's debut, against Osasuna. And it's no exaggeration, fan. What this kid did in pre-season was big league stuff. The kind of player who doesn't flinch, who steps on the pitch with Real Madrid's heavy shirt and makes the difference like he's been there for years. In the friendly against WSG Tirol, Arda was simply the best player on the field. He hit the post twice, one of them with a curling shot that left the keeper frozen, delivered a pinpoint assist to Mbappe, the kind of pass you watch in slow-motion replay just to admire the genius, and even set up the Frenchman one-on-one with a goalkeeper in another play that only didn't end in a goal by inches. That's incredible vision. That's insane talent packed in a 20-year-old body. And this performance wasn't an outlier, no. Throughout the entire preseason, Arda Guler has been one of the squad standouts, showing personality, ball control, tactical awareness, and above all, attitude. He doesn't hide. He asks for the ball, takes responsibility, and in Real Madrid, that's not for just anyone. Now let's look at the context. With Federico Valverde, Jude Bellingham, and Eduardo Camavinga temporarily out due to physical and scheduling reasons, the Turk got the chance to play more minutes. And he didn't waste a single second of that opportunity. The coach, and the entire staff, were impressed with the kid's impact in training and matches. And the fans? They've already adopted him as their new darling. Everyone's talking about Arda on social media, in forums, on sports talk shows. The kid is becoming a global topic. And let's be real, Arda has everything it takes to explode. He's got technical skill, refined vision, tactical intelligence, confidence, and most importantly, hunger to win. He arrived at Real Madrid knowing exactly where he was, and now that he's been given an opening, he's digging his way into the starting lineup with everything he's got. But hold on. When the big names return, what happens to this battle? We're talking about a midfield where every spot is worth gold. Can Arda maintain this level when he's directly competing with Bellingham, Valverde, Camavinga, and the rest? Or does he still need a bit more maturity before owning the position? What's clear is that he's giving the coach something to think about. If he keeps this up, there's no way to leave him on the bench. The Bernabeu is already starting to dream about plays between Arda, Mbappe, Vini Jr. and Bellingham. Just thinking about it gives you chills, brother.
We've seen this script before.
A young player doubted by some, but who arrives with personality, proves himself, and becomes an idol. Remember what happened with Vinicius Jr.? Remember Rodrigo? And even Modric, who arrived with people doubting him and became a living legend. Could we be witnessing the birth of another eternal star? You know what to do, right? Drop it in the comments. Arda Guler as a starter now, or is it better to wait until the big names return? I want to see what the fans think. And don't forget to smash that like button if you believe the kid can shine this season. Now things have really heated up, fans. The Vinicius Jr. versus contract renewal saga has gained a new and explosive chapter that's shaking Valdebebas. According to El Chiringuito TV, Vini's agent was spotted this week at Real Madrid's training center, moving through the backstage areas with an enigmatic demeanor, without giving any statements.
Total silence.
Not a word to the press. And those who know football's behind the scenes know very well, when there's silence, there's a bomb about to drop. The sudden visit of the number 7's representative to the training center in August, right in the middle of the transfer window and pre-season, was no coincidence. It set off a red alert inside the club. A sign that the player's contract situation is much more tense than it appears. Let's get to the facts. Vinicius Jr.'s current contract runs until June 2027. In theory, Real Madrid would still have plenty of time to renew. But in practice, the clock has already started ticking, and the pressure is increasing every week. Because Vini doesn't just want to renew. He wants to renew on his own terms. He knows he's one of the squad's biggest technical and media references, he knows he wears the number 7, he knows he's a fan idol, and he wants to be treated that way on the payroll too. According to internal club sources, the player staff is demanding a significant pay raise that would put the Brazilian at the top of the wage pyramid, alongside or even above names like Bellingham and Courtois.
The justification?
His performances on the pitch, his role as a protagonist in recent seasons, and the global status he's achieved wearing the white shirt. But on the other side of the table, Real Madrid is holding back. The board recognizes Vini's importance, of course, but they also believe he hasn't yet reached the level of consistency needed to justify a contract of that magnitude. Last season was good, but with highs and lows. And Florentino Perez and his team don't like making decisions under pressure, especially when it involves changing the club's historic wage policy. And here's where the biggest risk lies. If nothing is resolved by 2026, Real Madrid will enter the final year of his contract without a signed renewal. This means that starting January 2027, Vini could sign for free with any club. That's right, losing a player valued at over €150 million without receiving a single cent. And the Premier League sharks, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, are already watching closely, following this tug-of-war with full interest. They know Real Madrid usually doesn't play around with unresolved contracts, and if the renewal stalls, they could make an aggressive move, with astronomical figures. And let's be honest, do you think Vini could resist an offer of €25 million per season plus unlimited bonuses in England? But this is Real Madrid. And the club won't bow to any demands, even if they come from one of its biggest stars. No one is above the badge, as Don Santiago Bernabeu used to say. And that philosophy remains alive in every decision made by the board. The big question in the air now is, who will give in first? Will Real Madrid break its policy to keep Vini? Or will the player realize that to keep making history at the greatest club in the world, he also needs to adapt to the club's values? Time is ticking, and this saga still promises many intense scenes. Do you think Real Madrid should pay what Vini wants or stick to the club's wage policy? Comment below because this decision could change the future of our number 7. There's news from England. Real Madrid is keeping an eye on Adam Wharton, a 21-year-old midfielder from Crystal Palace, according to ESPN and the Daily Mail. The kid shone in the Community Shield against Liverpool, delivered an assist, controlled the midfield, and the press has already compared him to some of the greatest names in world football. Real Madrid scouts were there, at Wembley, taking notes. They've been monitoring Wharton for a while, and now, after that performance, the interest has only grown stronger. What stands out the most? He has a playing style that fits perfectly with Real Madrid's DNA. Smart, technical, and knows how to distribute the game with class. Not for right now, but it could be a long-term investment to refresh the midfield in the future. Florentino likes to snap up talents before they become superstars. And Wharton could be next in line. To wrap things up in style, let's talk about dominance. UEFA has officially confirmed, Real Madrid remains at the top of the European club rankings, even after being knocked out in the Champions League quarterfinals. With 117.5 points, we lead comfortably. Bayern follows with 108, Inter with 107, and the rest are far behind.
Barcelona?
All the way down in 9th, with a mere 83 points. That's what we're talking about. And our weakest scoring season was actually last season, with the loss to Arsenal.
Even so, no one can catch us.
The truth is, you can't compete with the greatness of Real Madrid. 15 Champions League titles, and eternal respect. And with reinforcements coming in, a new coach and a rejuvenated squad, this year promises to be another one for the history books. If you've made it this far and still haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? This is daily content, hardcore fan style, no fluff, always defending the greatest in the world. Leave a like, comment everything, and share it with that friend who also lives and breathes Real Madrid. This channel is by the fans, for the fans. Let's go, Madridistas. See you in the next video.